a top 10 to 13 quarterback. I don't think he's a top 5 quarterback. I don't think that the ring elevates you completely. I don't think that nobody elevated Eli Manning over Aaron Rodgers when he got 2 rings. They didn't elevate Eli Manning over Peyton Manning. They struggled to elevate him over Drew Brees and Phillip Rivers and company, who he had more rings than. Because context is important. You realize it's not just them, even though they may have amazing playoff runs. Everything else comes into fact that talent, execution, regular season performance, playoff performance, all that stuff comes into effect. And yes, the ring is super significant, but I don't think that it completely erases what everybody else has done and completely moves you ahead. With that being said, though, with that being said, right? The Eagles, man, had an amazing Super Bowl. And Jalen Hurts, to me, like I said before the Super Bowl,